Hey everybody, Jeff Yenser, CreativeMusicGenius.com. Thanks for watching today. I want to share a few songwriting and music production tips by taking a look behind the curtain at the song that I just created, Do That Thing to Make the Vegetables Grow. Alright? And first I started out with a chord progression. And I just grabbed a chord progression from a song that I really like, okay, and I changed it up, right, and I made sure it doesn't sound anything like the original so I don't violate any copyright principles. And I really can't give you copyright advice because I'm not a copyright lawyer, but I want to make it sound different by changing up the melody, the rhythm, the tempo, the instruments that are used, the vibe and the feel and the genre of the music, right? And I just want to challenge you to guess what song these chords came from, okay? And I'll give you a clue, it wasn't one made in this century. I'm 59 years old, and this song that I grabbed these chords from came out when I was a lot younger, right? And you can grab chords and you can use them as is or modify them or change them up, right? Or mash a couple of songs together, right? Or use bits and pieces of chord progressions. Chord progressions in music are used over and over and over again in many cases, right? So just make sure your stuff sounds original, okay? So I like to write my chords on paper. That's important to me. And then I've got, big print there that I can easily see. A suggester here, okay, so I put the chords in Suggester also, which is a chord app, right, on the iPad, right? Now there's lots of chord apps out there in the world, right, depending on what platform you're on, if you're on Windows or Mac or whatever, you could find something that'll help you create chord progressions. And of course, you can try out different chords, you can drag and drop, right? Move them around if you want, try different things, right? You can grab your instrument, try to play along, right? And then generate some ideas that way, okay? So then once I settled on the chords I like, I use the share button, right? To export a MIDI file, okay? And I actually exported it two ways. Now, the version of Suggester I used at the time was actually an older version, and there was only one arpeggio option. You can see now there's multiple arpeggio options in here, right? But there was only on or off, right, at the time. So I turned it on, did an export, turned it off, did an export. So I got two MIDI files, okay, which I was then able to import over here into ZenBeats. I had to go into Audio Share first, right, an app in between, because ZenBeats doesn't support the share, iOS share system directly. Okay, so I went to Audio Share from Suggester and then imported into ZenBeats a couple of times, right? So I've got the arpeggiated and the non-arpeggiated tracks in here, okay? You can see right there is the MIDI data, and right there, okay, zoom in on that some, you can see more MIDI data in there, okay? And if you look down here, I've actually got Suggester as an audio unit, okay? And there's my song in here. Now the only thing I did was this, is use it as a reference, okay? In case I wanted to play along, remind myself what the chords are, they're right here inside my song, okay? I didn't really use any of the audio. You can see I actually have this track's actually muted, okay? But it's there if I want to look at my chords, if I don't happen to have my paper with me, okay? And then I made up some words, right? And I actually borrowed a couple words from the title of the song, but then only the first two words, okay? I guess there's another clue. And then I wrote some lyrics, and I didn't use all of these lyrics in the final version, so I created some lyrics, started messing with them. I changed some of them up as I went. I thought of some new ideas over time, right? This song was actually made over a few months, right? Most of the inspiration came in the very beginning, but then I practiced, I made some tweaks, I added more tracks, Okay, and so let's just move on and look at the vocal tracks. Okay, so I've got 3 vocal tracks in here. Okay, you can see one of them is empty, and then I've got a vocal track here and a vocal track here. And what I did is I just practiced a lot, and I practiced recording. One of probably the best premier tips that anyone can give you is to practice recording yourself. Listen to what you've recorded, play it back, practice recording, right? And you'll get over that. You know, I personally have, I wouldn't call it stage fright, but record fright. You press the record and all of a sudden you get nervous about, you know, I got to make this sound great, right? But if you just keep practicing over and over, that starts to go away, right? So I record 3, right? I delete the crummiest one, keep the best one, right? Record again, delete, record again, delete, till I finally got one I really liked. And then I recorded another one that matches it. So this is double tracked vocals. What they call double tracked. It's the same singing recorded twice, right? I mean, 2 recordings of me singing layered on top of each other. And it just makes everything sound richer and stand out more in the mix, right? And it gives you more opportunity to work with effects and for panning. And it makes your vocals stand out more. Almost every professional recording uses this technique, okay? Double tracking your vocals, all right? And then let's move on down to the guitar. I've actually got 3 guitar parts in here. You know, I've got a palm muted power chord part, okay? I've got a rhythm guitar part, and then I've got a lead guitar part. You can see the lead right there. There's 2 versions of that. One of them is muted, right? And I did the same kind of thing that I did with the vocals. I went back and forth until I got one that I really liked, and I kept the good one and deleted or muted the other one, okay? And I used Zen beats for the drums. I like to have my drums where I can just pick out some preset drum patterns that I really like that match my song, and that makes it sound awesome. All right, I hope you learned a few things from that. Jeff Yenser, CreativeMusicGenius.com. Visit the website. Yeah, hit the tip jar. Let me know if you got anything out of this video, and keep on rocking.